record on this computer. Okay, we did that. Okay, so exciting and surprising visuals. You know how a picture is worth 1,000 words. And don't forget to unify your message, your style, and typos. Very important. We tend to forget that. Okay, I think I can just unmute everyone. Okay, how to get remote work in Israel. Okay, okay. I'm not going to address how to get work in this session. This is just about writing your LinkedIn profile, and it's about the top part, which is going to be this part. So the visuals, the headline. Okay, this is the headline, and the about. This is all we're going to address today. Everything to do with the job search strategies, it's a completely different session. Okay, going back. Okay, so visuals, use a top picture. Adding a professional photo will on average get users 14 times more views. So, and not posting a photo may actually prevent recruiters from finding you on LinkedIn. So really invest in a good photo and post it, okay? So these are 10 tips, right, on how to pick a strong photo and make a good impression. One of the nicest things that happened to me is that I walk into a room and people say, ah, I recognize you from your LinkedIn photo. You know, we change over time, we change our spectacles, our hairdo, maybe our hair color, the way we you know, dress our hair and so forth. So make sure that you update your photo every few years so that people can actually recognize you. It makes for an instant connection. You go into a room, you go into the interview, and you actually look like it. It makes for a nice feeling. Now, for the technical part, it's important that you use a high resolution image. Screens differ. And if it's a poor resolution or it's something that you've taken in poor lighting, it's just not going to look good. Another thing that I noticed, and I'm going to show you some examples in a bit, make sure your face takes up at least 60% of the frame. People want to see you. So there's a difference if what you see is this, or this, or this, right? So you want to be seen, you want to feel the frame, you want to have a nice background, you want to be the only person in the picture. Even if you work in a team, this is about you. So you should be the only person in the picture, and make sure that it's not a picture that you cropped. You'd be surprised how easy it is to recognize that it's a cropped picture. You see someone's hair over here, their hand over there, a foot of the child over here. We've seen it all. It doesn't look professional. You know, we said this is a network of professionals. Have a professional photo and get someone else to take it for you. While selfies are nice for social media, the back camera on your cell phone has lower resolution than your front one. And also, you always can tell if it's a selfie. So, you know, you have someone take that picture for you. They can tell you, oh, why don't you tuck your hair back? Why don't you choose this expression or the other expression? Smile more. I just read a statistic that smiling, especially with teeth, will get up to 30% more views than if you're not smiling or smiling without your teeth. fact. So you want to smile, you want to look at the camera, you want to be likable and approachable. Another thing that we tend to do is having busy backgrounds. I really like a plain background and maybe something colorful. You know, it can be a blue colored shirt for a man, or a nice colorful blouse for a woman, with or without a blazer, no tie in Israel. Just wear what you would wear to work. And so someone said, well, you know, I work in high tech and everybody comes in t-shirts and flip-flops. So no t-shirts, please, obviously. But what you would really like to wear to work. So professional, and take it in soft, natural light. Experiment with lights a little bit, nothing too harsh. And last but not least, use filters wisely. I'll show you what I mean. I have to stop sharing and share screen again to show you that. Okay, here is this. Okay, so if you upload your photograph, okay, so this is your photo. You can crop it, right? You can decide which size, and you can use filters. Now, there are all these various filters, and you can choose one. Just experiment which ones you like best. You can adjust your photo. You can play with the brightness. With the saturation. And you can actually create a vignette if you'd rather. Okay, so you can use that to improve on a photo that is maybe doesn't have the best of lighting, and make it look much nicer, softer, or improve it. Okay, questions this far? Okay. Any questions about the photo, about LinkedIn so far? Anyone? No? Okay, then we'll continue with our PowerPoint. Okay, so I said a good picture is worth 1,000 words, and I promised examples. So these are a few. See how the background is very busy. She's obviously on vacation. I'd really like to be there in Italy with her, but it doesn't look very professional, does it? Very wintry. This could actually work if you were a graphic artist and you specialize in avatars. See how this is very bright? I actually like his smile, but everything else is just much too bright. It doesn't look very professional. This is extremely busy. See how he's actually occupying almost 60% of the picture. It's very difficult to see her. She's not looking at the camera. It's difficult to get a feeling that we know her in any way. This is one of my favorites. It's obviously his wedding day, so not very professional. It really depends, you know, if he was a bike instructor, maybe this would be a good one. This is not too bad, but again, not very professional. These are my two favorite. Well, I'm not too keen on the black and white. I find it a bit too stark, but that's my personal taste. See how she smiles. She looks at the camera. You see teeth. And I actually like this one better than that one, but either one will work. Okay. So these are just a few examples gathered from around the LinkedIn.
Michal, there's a question in the chat.
Thank you. let me look at the chat. Okay, what is the program called that you use to filter the picture? Okay, I'll show it to you again. It's on LinkedIn. You go to your profile and you click on your photo, and this edit photo will pop up. And here you have the filter. Okay, so again, I just go to my profile, I double click the photo, edit photo, filter, and I can choose the filter that I want. Or I can change it. Oh, okay, I can decide on a different photo. I can use the camera, I can upload a photo. Okay. Any other question about the photo? Okay. Okay, so the next thing the next image I'd like to address is the background. So these are the design specifications and dimensions for the background. And it's important that you use either JPEG or a GIF or PNG, no larger than 8 megabytes. It's the best resolution, and 396 by 1584 pixels, that's ideal. You can find very many free images online. I'll show you a few sites in a second. I find that not many people use a background photograph or image, and it just makes your profile so much more vibrant. It makes it stand out. Okay, I'll show you my profile for just 1 second. Okay, so by having a background image, it just stands out, and you can use a photograph that really represents who you are, or it can be just pretty and an eye catcher, or it can be a motto, or it can be where you work, or anything that will express who you are, brand yourself better, and it just makes it so much more interesting. Okay, so you just click here and you upload a photo from wherever you have it. You have to save it to your computer first, and again you can use filters and you can adjust and you can crop and you can play around with it. Okay, back to here. Okay. Another thing I'd like to suggest that you do, because LinkedIn profile is responsive, make sure that you look at it from various screens. So from your computer screen, from your tablet, from your phone, so that you can see how it looks on the different media, because it will look a little bit different. So as I said, choose an image that inspires you or reflects what you do. If you're a teacher, it can be children. If you are a gardener, choose plants. You know, just make sure that it really brands you, it matches who you are and is unique. So if you're in sales, it can be, I don't know, maybe you're a cosmetician and you use plants to create amazing creams. So you can take pictures of your creams and of the plants that you make them of. If you work in a team, if you have your cat with you, maybe your cat can be there. It looks lovely, Janine. Okay, it can be an analogy of what you do, like I use the pencils. Okay, it can be a light bulb if you're a thinker, and so on. Or it can be a picture of you giving a lecture. So here are just a few ideas. This is the bland one that everyone has. See, this is a computer and some flowers. this is similar to what I have, or it can be something like this. And these are all free online pictures that I found. And these are websites with free images. I'll just give you a second to take a photograph of that if you want. They're all free. You can register. Pixabay, for instance, will actually send you weekly free images that you can download. Many of those websites will do that. There are many more. If you just Google free images and, I don't know, light bulb or question mark or whatever, you will find quite a few. Okay, any questions to the background image? Let's see. Okay. Any questions? No. Okay. And we'll continue. So one of the things that people don't think about is how we write our name on the LinkedIn profile. Please don't use caps or lowercase. Really write it out as you would. And one of the things that you can do is put your name in English under first name and your name in Hebrew under last name, like I did here. And this way, people can find you both if they're looking for you in Hebrew and in English. Someone's asking if there will be a recording. Yes, there will be. Answered. Okay, thank you, brilliant. Okay, so let me show you for a second how to do that. I'll go back to my LinkedIn profile. So you click on the editing pencil and you see here under first name, I wrote my first and last name in English. And under last name, I wrote my name in Hebrew, first and last name. And this is what it looks like. Okay. Sorry, Yael, I used your LinkedIn profile as an example. So your LinkedIn address is something that most people don't even think about. And most of us have, like Yael, we have our first and last name, and then all these numbers and letters that LinkedIn just assigns to us. But in fact, what we can have is like a, what they call a vanity address, where it is just our name. And again, it makes it very easy for people to find us. So again, I'll go to my LinkedIn profile and show you how to do that. So here on the right, you can see it says edit public profile and URL right here. And when I click on that, a new window will open, a new tab, and it will say public profile settings. And by the way, this is an excellent way to see or to view your profile as others do, because it's different when we see it and and the way others do. Okay, so this is how. And here again on the right, it says personalize the URL for your profile. So again, my lovely editing pencil, and I can change. I can have this way, or that way. I can just take out all those numbers, and when I click save, it will tell me that it was done. If there's someone, okay, success, we've updated your settings. If there's someone else with the same name, it will tell you, sorry, no can do, and you can decide what you want to do. You can change it a little bit, but still have it unique. And that way, you don't have to include the entire URL when you, on your CV, for instance, right? You can just, okay, you can just have it this way, or you can write LinkedIn and your name, and that's it, and people will find you. So it's a nice little thing to know. So the next big step is introducing yourself, and I'm referring to the headline. We have our visuals, we have our unique URL, we have our name, and now we have to write our headline, which is our brand and is the first thing that people will look at. So you don't want to just say salesperson at company XYZ, because that's really promoting them. You are all professionals, you have your expertise. Just today, we saw someone's LinkedIn profile, and he had on his on his headline, data, what was it, data analysis ninja or something to that effect. And we thought that was brilliant, because it was very, very, very easy to understand who he was and his strength. Okay, so write a great headline. It can be something like this: experienced B2B sales professional responsible for 25 million in sales for the past 3 years. Or something that shows who you are. I create work plans that are fast, easy to implement, bring results in minimum time. Remember that you have 120 characters, including spaces, in this really prime real estate. So use them, and use them well. And please don't write actively seeking positions. It's, you know, looking for a job is a little bit like dating, and you really don't want to have that branding you, because of 2 reasons. One, recruiters don't use terms like job seekers when they search for people. You want to use industry related words that they will use in their searches. So, you know, anything that makes you look desperate, like seeking and job search and in transition, is not the place to put. Well, again, when we address next time how to use LinkedIn for your job search, then I'll tell you how and where you can address that issue, and where it's okay to post and say, I'm actively looking for a job, and, you know, and list other people's name, but not on your profile itself, because it's there. When, you know, obviously you can always change your profile, but as you go along, you want a headline that will tell people what you are and what you are not.
There's a question in the
yes.
chat.
Okay. Can we do English and Hebrew headline? Yes, it's a bit more tricky, but you can, and I've seen people do that. You'll have to play around a little bit with how it looks on the page, but it's absolutely possible. Any other questions about the headline? By the way, don't be shy about going into other people's profiles, looking at how they brand themselves, gathering ideas. You know, this is about writing your professional value proposition. That's your headline, and that is what you're going to expand on in the about section, what I like to call your elevator pitch on LinkedIn. So, you know, look for people in a similar position, or that have done similar things, and see how they brand themselves. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm just looking at the time. Okay. So the about, as I said, is your elevator pitch. It's a way to summarize all your experience, your skills, your achievements in 2,600 characters, including spaces. And it's quite a bit. So writing a winning summary. Explain why you enjoy what you do. Since I was 5 years old, I've always dreamed of being a policewoman because I wanted to help people and I wanted to fight crime. In my 20s, I had this experience, and that is why I decided I wanted to help people overcome their fear. It makes you accessible, likable. It explains why you're passionate about that without actually saying, I am passionate about, everybody says I am passionate about. So you want to tell your story without actually saying the words that everybody says. So it's, as I said before, it's about telling your compelling personal story. You can list specialties to demonstrate your expertise. I'm an expert, or I have specialized, or I've focused my work on B2B sales. I've gone on to visit numerous conferences overseas and created quality leads that increase sales consistently year over year by 20%. Okay. Again, a list is boring, but listing the specialties in a story is exciting and interesting. If your personal interests are connected to what you do, share them by all means. I've always liked touring, and ever since I made Aliyah, I've liked to go through Israel, and that's why I became a tour guide. Keep your paragraphs short. People don't really read, they tweet. And it's always nice to not just share a story, but also call to action. If there's a problem that you can solve, I'm a cosmetician, and if you have acne, I have solutions for you. Call me, and I will give you 3 tips to help you with your skin problem. Or, if you have a child who has ADHD and you have a problem getting organized in the morning, call me. I can help. So a call for action actually encourages people to pick up the phone and phone you. Okay, any questions about your summary or anything at all? It's time for questions. Let me unmute everyone. Maybe, can I unmute everyone? I don't know how to do that. Okay.
Maybe we can do it one by one.
Yeah. Should be a way. Okay. So feel free to ask anything. Raise your hand, write in the chat. Okay, any questions?
There's a question.
Okay. Can you take a professional photo from Android cell phone or computer? Which is better? It really depends on the quality of either. It is perfectly all right to take a photo from your Android cell phone. I've had good experience with that. Again, the best is if someone else takes your picture. Decide it can even be outside or have some type of neutral background. experiment, take numerous pictures from various ways, try this way or that way. Absolutely. You don't necessarily have to go and spend 1,000 shekels on a professional photo, buy a professional photograph. If you have someone in your family or friends, they can do it for you. What if you leave a job to self-employment in a new area? So basically you're new. Okay. So please remember that whether it's your CV or your LinkedIn, this is about branding. It's okay to rebrand yourself and put a focus on what it is that you want to do, and sort of fade out on everything that you did so far. For example, say you were a lawyer and you now want to go into organizational training. I'm sure that as a lawyer, you have plenty of opportunity to do training, to speak publicly, to write maybe training and mentor other employees. So you can say you were a commercial lawyer, but speak mostly about the training part. And in your headline, speak about training. You can, include the fact that you were a lawyer as well, but say organizational trainer with experience in public speaking, and maybe have, a licensed Israeli lawyer as well. So yes, absolutely okay to brand yourself. It's part of what we do on LinkedIn. I can tell you personally, I change my headline and my abouts once a year or every other year, because my focus changes a little bit. When I first started, I focused on CV writing, and now I'm more into coaching and helping people find employment. So definitely, it's okay to rebrand yourself on LinkedIn. Any other questions? Okay. So our next session is going to, as I said, address the second part of LinkedIn, how to write your experience, education and courses, and how to choose the skills that you want to have on LinkedIn. And then we'll address how to use LinkedIn to join groups and find work. So if you have any additional questions, send them to us by email, to Yael or to me. And it was a pleasure having all of you today on our LinkedIn 101.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Someone, Hillel asked, is it possible to send a CV for critique?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Good
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Michal, you have to stop recording.
Yes.